when she doubled over in pain, there was an EVP right there that said, "Die." Welcome to Friday Night Ghost Frights. I'm author and ghost historian Mike Ricksecker. Explore with us. Over the years, as we've tried to communicate with spirits, we've captured a number of EVPs, the voices of those spirits, on our audio recorders. Here's some of the best ones that we've collected over that time. I'm going to start with some of our classics, ones that were captured some years ago and were featured quite prominently for a while. First off, start with Black Bear Church, and out in the cemetery there across the street, or really the dirt road from the church. Now this particular church, Black Bear, this is out in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma. It was featured on My Ghost Story. As we were walking through the cemetery amongst the headstones, I did notice between two sets of headstones they had the same name. There was a civilian marker and a military marker for a Mr. John Allen. I made note of this to one of the other investigators. You kind of hear him say, as I'm pointing this out, but then you hear a voice say, correct. Somebody confirming that, yes, indeed, those are the same person.
The second marker for John right here from the Navy. So he's got two markers. There's a second marker for John right here from the Navy. So he's got two markers.
Now also within that same cemetery on a different night when there was only three of us, the other two investigators had already gone back to the car because we were finishing up for the night. And I decided to hang out in the cemetery, give the headstones one last walkthrough. And as I was just randomly walking amongst the headstones, I caught one of the craziest EVPs ever, at least that I've captured. And that was, "My teeth are warm."
My teeth are warm. My teeth are warm.
Now, as well as My Ghost Story, we had also done some filming for the show The Haunted, which was on Animal Planet at the time. It's been syndicated since. And we filmed for the episode Monster in the Closet for residents in Edmond, Oklahoma. Now, in this particular case, Carl Johnson was brought out to do a cleansing of the home, give the home a blessing. And as we were going through, the adult daughter of the family, had come into the house. Now, she had gone to use the restroom in the master bedroom, and when we came in there, she was talking at something against the wall. Carl decided to do a blessing over her, and as he did this, she doubled over in pain and fell to the floor. We got her up, got her to the bed, and she was fine. A number of other crazy things happened. But later on, as I was going through my audio recorder, I discovered when she doubled over in pain that there was an EVP right there that said, "Die."
This is a chance to reveal yourself, and we command you, by the holy powers, by the angels that visit this house.
Ow! Ow! You alright? Ow!
This is a chance to reveal yourself, and we command you, by the holy powers, by the angels that visit this house.
Ow! Ow! You alright? Ow!
Now the show misplaced that EVP, and they put it for whatever crazy reason during our regular investigation of the house. Now we caught a number of EVPs during that investigation, so I don't know why they chose to put that particular EVP there instead of one of the other ones, because to me it has much more power being right where it really was, where she doubled over in pain and you hear, "Die." Now some people wonder if when we go into a house to investigate, if the spirits understand what it is that we are trying to do. I mean, really, I'm just trying to go in, communicate, find out some more information about who's there. But in this particular case, it did seem like they knew exactly what we were going to be doing. And as we were setting up, we weren't even in the investigation yet, we were just setting up, talking to the homeowner, all that. And you hear twice, back to back, "We shouldn't talk, we shouldn't talk." One spirit saying this to another.
Oh yeah.
And he was the only dog and not barking.
Oh yeah.
And he was the only dog and not barking.
Now there's one that I actually captured at home one time, and it's really kind of a crazy story because it was more than just an EVP. Just myself and my younger son at home at the time, and we were invited out to go to a movie. We're going to be picked up in about 5 minutes. So we're getting things together, and the light in the living room on the fan suddenly came on. Now, this had happened a few times before where the light either suddenly came on or suddenly turned off. And so the kids, of course, thought that I had brought something home. I still, to this day, don't think I brought something home. I think it was somebody else, I'm not going to say who, was trying to communicate with me. So light pops on. I end up, asking for, hey, if this really is somebody trying to get my attention, try to communicate with me, I need a little bit more than just turning the light on. Well, the light started blinking. And so at that, I got out my audio recorder and I asked if there was something that it wanted to tell me. And what I got was, don't stay here anymore. Now that's one that I find really interesting because a lot of times we hear EVPs that say get out, and a lot of people present the evidence of the EVP get out. This one was a bit more cordial about the whole thing. Don't stay here anymore. Like a whole full sentence rather than a command. For an example of more recent EVPs that we've been able to capture, I'm going to start with the investigation that Copperhead Greg Graham and I conducted at the Bel Air house in Bel Air, Ohio. Now, we had a very lengthy investigation that night, but when we moved off into the dining room with Kristen Lee, the homeowner of the house, we had just really started a session, and I'm going through my usual cordial, hi, I'm Mike, Copperhead, Kristen, would really like to get to know you, maybe become friends, and caught an EVP that said, I guess, from a woman's voice. We'd really like to meet you. I'm Michael. This is Greg. We call him Copperhead because of his red hair. So just love to get to know you a little bit, visit a little while. Maybe even become friends. Came on.
Yes. Good, thank you.
All right, fantastic. Maybe even become friends. Came on.
Yes. Good, thank you.
Now, with Shauna and I investigating together these days the Society of the Haunted, which has been around since 2011, but these days it's just Shauna and I and Vanessa Hogo as our remote viewing medium. We've been on a number of investigations, have caught a number of EVPs, and so I'm going to present, a couple of more significant ones. This first one, I'm actually going to let you determine what it says. We've had a little bit of back and forth. We've had other people listen to it. Now, this was at a home, a residential house, undisclosed location, historic home in Jacksonville, Illinois. And this was up in the 3rd floor where we were getting some really, really intense energy. It was really heavy. There's no EMF up there, what have you. We kept getting spikes. Shauna kept feeling her head buzzing. I was getting all kinds of tingles. Really, really crazy stuff. Very, very active investigation that we had. So I'm going to let you determine what this one says. We also had a number of investigations at the Campsville Grade School in Campsville, Illinois. And the biggest audio hit that we kept getting had been the footsteps overhead down the hall. But that's not really an EVP. It's great audio evidence, but not an EVP. Now, there was one time where we had entered the gym and Shauna all of a sudden just felt really sick and she had to get out of there. She took off toward the boys' locker room area. But we did catch an EVP right there as Shauna was saying, oh my God, as she took off. Bye. I appreciate you making the sound again, but it was in a different place this time. Can you stay in one spot and do that so we can find you? I'd like to talk to you.
Oh my God.
You alright? What did you feel?
Well, I felt like I was going to throw up back there, and then I got a headache, and then I started coming towards this way, and the headache went away.
I was in a different place this time. Can you stay in one spot and do that so we can find you? I'd like to talk to you.
Now, just recently at Liberty High in Ohio City, Ohio, we were on a investigation. Our second time there. It was actually my second time. Shauna's first, but she had remoted in for the first time around. We felt like we were chasing something around the lower level floor. We kept hearing footsteps on one end, kept hearing footsteps on the other. We're going back and forth. Something was playing with us. It was like it was playing hide and seek. And in fact, one time as we were walking past one of the restrooms, we heard what sounded like a slam of a door come from inside the restroom. So we went in there, we figured out that, yeah, it was one of the stall doors, and as I was describing this one particular time, we do catch an EVP that says, "Find me."
Oh,
Hello.
that was big. Hello.
How are you?
Well, are you in there? I mean, I don't want to, if you're doing your business.
Now this piece here is going to be a little bit of a longer segment. When we were investigating Mineral Springs Mall, the old Mineral Springs Hotel, with Lee Ehrlich and Chris Sutton, Lee had showed us a fantastic way to be able to capture EVPs using water. And we just happened to be down the hall from a fountain. And as you listen and we're asking questions, you can hear between the blip, 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 blip voices. And they were actually answering our questions. Give it a listen.
We know you're here. Thanks for talking to us. Did you hear it?
I just heard that again.
You heard that you're welcome, like that kind of thing. It's very much like a ghost box.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
Why are you here? You don't know?
I just heard something over there.
I heard
Yep.
I got a tap or something down in there. There's some movement back in
Yeah,
there.
you see that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hear that? How old are you? 30?
I thought I heard 33.
33?
Yeah.
Okay.
And finally, this one's for Shauna. This isn't my EVP, this is hers. And it's from the Goldenrod Showboat. Shauna talking to Captain Minky. Her walking in, saying that she misses him, and him responding back with, "Miss you."
I have an audio of Captain Minky saying my name. It was also the side that I was going on whenever I said that I missed him and he said it back.
It's Shauna, Captain Minky. I've missed you. It's Shauna, Captain Minky. I've missed you.
I had to include that one in there since we do miss the Goldenrod Showboat. EVPs are always fascinating because it is a way in which to communicate with spirits. We may not always get something. We can go through entire investigations one after another without ever getting a single EVP. But there are times where it seems like it's really, really active and we were able to hear those spirits come across to us. And as investigators, as a ghostorian, we do like to consider ourselves a voice for those from the past who still would like to have their stories told. Hello out there. I'm Mike. This is Shauna. Just visiting the school Shauna used to go here. Who are you?